Hi guys, today I thought I would talk about a new comic that's come out recently, Stan Lee's The Traveller. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is the first Stan Lee comic for a very, very long time. I think it was made a big deal of at comic conventions last year, kind of all discussing on Stan's back, things like that. And I think that from what I've seen of it, the concept seems really, really cool. The concept of the Traveller is this super being who exists in space and has control of all of time, and he sends a version of himself forward in time so he can become himself. And that kind of really convoluted plot device. Oh, I have to go back in time to recreate myself. To that kind of infinite loop thing of time. However, that's pretty much the only constant thing about the character and about this new comic that I like. You know, I haven't read it properly yet. I will be doing that in a couple of weeks' time, because obviously it's not fair to review a comic that you haven't read in full. I've only read it, on the aisle. But from what I did see whilst looking through it in the aisles, was that the art style and the writing do seem quite dated, which I suppose is fair, because it's Stan Lee, who hasn't written a comic in, 30, 40 years, but I think that if you're going to make a comeback into comics, you could at least try to make a bit more of an effort to be more up to date. Maybe, I mean, you don't have to give the writing over to somebody else, but you could at least consult with other people, and people like Mark Miller who know how to make modern comic books great, and just say, look, how should these characters talk? How should they be phrased? What should they look like? Because it does look very dated. But maybe that's the appeal. Maybe the appeal of this whole thing is that it is quite dated. It's catching on the nostalgia. When I talked about this with a couple of friends before, and they said the whole thing is just a exercise in nostalgia. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's just Stan Lee trying to cash in on his former role as head of Marvel. Interestingly, it's not printed on a Marvel imprint or anything like that. It's printed on Stan Lee's separate comic publishers, which he created in 2005 with a bunch of others. So that's interesting. I would have thought that if Stan Lee was going to return to comic book writing, Marvel would be the ones publishing it, but apparently not. So maybe that plays in. Maybe this is Stan Lee kind of saying, well, I don't need Marvel to create my comics anymore. I can create new comics to be just as relevant as I was 34 years ago. But from my opinion, whatever Stan Lee's reasons for creating this comic, from what I've seen of it so far, it doesn't stand up too well. The concept of the Traveller is cool, but from what I've seen, it looks a bit old to me. As I said, I haven't read it properly, and I will do in future. I will post a review on here and on my written blog of the Traveller, so I can have more informed opinion of it. That may be in the next 2 weeks or so, I don't know. But for now, my first thoughts on the Traveller are that it may not be as good as the hype says it is. Okay, see you next time. Bye.